Section 6.2a is about solving inequalities with multiplication. In the last section we did addition and subtraction, so it makes sense that now we're going to use multiplication. There isn't a whole lot of difference. There's a multiplication property when you multiply by a positive number, and that just says when you multiply both sides of an inequality by the same value, the inequality stays the same. But there is something to take a look at. There's a key concept when you multiply by a negative number, and it's very, very important. It says that when you multiply an inequality by a negative number, the direction of the inequality symbol must be reversed. That's very important. When you multiply by a negative number, the direction of the inequality must be reversed. We're going to practice that a couple times. Here we have some inequalities that need to be solved. This one for the letter B. The 7 is connected with division, so we're going to multiply both sides by 7. It's a positive 7, so I don't have to worry about switching any signs. So I end up with B is greater than or equal to, well, 25 times 7, that's like having 7 quarters. If I have 7 quarters, I have $1.25. So, whoops, I got to remember that it's 125. So that's using the multiplication property. In this one, G is divided by a negative 3. Because it's divided, I'm going to multiply both sides by negative 3. The negative 3's will cancel, so I have G, and then 12 times negative 3 is negative 36. But here's the difference. Because we chose to multiply by a negative number, it's there and there. We multiplied by that number. And the rule says that if you do that, you have to reverse the inequality symbol. So this becomes a greater than. Be aware that any time that you multiply or divide by a negative number, you're going to switch that sign. Now this section just talks about multiplication, but we will be applying that to division in the next one as well. A couple more examples. Here we have an example where there's a fraction in front of a variable. And one way that we can get rid of an entire fraction is to use the reciprocal idea. And the reciprocal of negative 2/5 is negative 5/2. So I'm going to multiply both sides by negative 5 over 2. So the 5's will cancel, the 2's will cancel, and the negatives, leaving a p, which is good because I wanted to isolate the p. Over here, 2 goes into 14 7 times, and the negative 7 and negative 5 is positive 35. But notice again, I multiplied by a negative value here and here. And if you multiply by a negative value, you have to switch the sign, so this becomes greater than. Next one we have to solve, this is 1/4 of a number is less than negative 7. Well, 1/4 is a fraction, looks like this. Of means multiply of a number, so we'll use n, you can use any letter you want, is less than negative 7. So here we get a chance to use another reciprocal idea. The reciprocal of 1/4 is 4 over 1. And you can write that as 4 over 1 or just 4, it doesn't matter. Cancel everything, get an n, and here negative 7 times 4 is negative 28. Now I want to notice something. Did we multiply by a negative number? And the answer is no, we did not. So we're not going to switch the sign. We did not multiply by a negative. The numbers that we multiplied were both positive. Some people see this negative and they think, oh, I have to switch it. But that's not the case. We multiplied by a positive 4 and a positive 4. So the sign in this case does not get switched.